already finished one chapter of differential equations, and now we will be starting with the elements of discrete mathematics part. Okay, one chapter of this part will be done, and again we'll return to the differential equations. So in this part we will be studying about the graphs, different types of graphs, and overall a graph theory. Okay, now you had already seen what are the sets, where you know how what the relations on the sets are, what is functions on the sets are. Okay, so this you had already studied from 11th standard onwards. Now suppose a is equals to a b c d is a set. Okay, a is a set containing these four elements a b c and d. Suppose b is a set containing 1 2 and 3. Now let us find a relation R from A to B. Okay, then what we have a relation R is equals to this set of the relations. Okay, that is A comma 1, B comma 3, C comma 1, C comma 3 and D comma 2. Okay, that is what this A is related to 1, B is related to 3, C is related to 1, C is related to 3 and D is related to 2. Okay, now when we have such kind of stuff, we call it as binary function, a binary relation. Why binary relation? Why? Because two sets are involved. For every element has two elements in it. Okay, and this is a relation from one set to another. That is, it contains two sets. Therefore, it is a binary relation. Now, R, this R can be written like this in the form of a set. That is totally fine. Now, this R can even be represented in a tabular form, in the form of a table. That is, if we make the columns like A, B, C, D, E, and on the other side we make it 1, 2, 3, the rows, then we can write this function that we can denote this A comma 1 by A1, that is this is the element which has been contained. Then b comma 3, the b and 3, the intersecting column, intersecting square is this. Therefore, it is b comma 3. Then what remains is c comma 1. Therefore, c comma 1. What remains is c comma 3. C comma 3. Therefore, this c comma 3. What is this d? D comma 2. Oh, sorry, there is no e column. That's my mistake. There is no e column in it. Okay, so this is how we have represented. Okay, this is in the form of a tabular form. Just excuse me for this, there is no e column, by mistake I drew it. Okay, so now the same relation R can also be represented in the form of a matrix whose elements are zeros and ones. Okay, that means what? Whenever there is a function between, there is a relation between two elements, we will put 1. And whenever there is no relation between two elements, like for suppose b comma 1, there is no element of b comma 1 in this set R, right? Therefore in these such places we will put 0. Okay, so if we represent such matrix, like whose columns will be a b c d and again whose rows will be 1 2 3, so if that is the case, then how we can represent it? See, A, B, C, D. Therefore, 1, A comma 1. We have A comma 1. We will represent it as 1. B comma 1 is not there. Therefore, we will represent 0. Again, C comma 1 is there. Therefore, we will put 1 at that place. There is no D comma 1. We will put a 0. Okay, so now next, what it is? A comma 2 is not there, B comma 2 is not there, C comma 2 is not there. Therefore at all these three places we'll put zeros, but there is D comma 2, therefore we'll put 1. Now there is again no A comma 3, therefore 0, B comma 3 is there, C comma 3 is there, but no D comma 3. Therefore, this will look like 0, 1, 1, 0. So now this matrix for such relation R is termed as a relation matrix. So it shows that there is a relation between these two vertices, or we'll say these two points or these two sets, set ABCD and set 1 2 3. It shows some relation between these two elements, therefore this is called as a relation matrix and it is denoted by MR. M for matrix, R for relation. Okay, and in general mathematically we can define the relation matrix MR as follows, where MR is equals to the matrix Mij. We can call these all elements as Mij. This will be our M11, M12, small m, small M13 like this, or this will be M21, M22, and this will be our what? M34, something like that. Okay, so this is our 3 cross 4 matrix if we go to see this. Okay, 3 rows and 4 columns, therefore 3 comma 4. This is rows comma cross columns, therefore 3 cross 4 matrix. Now this Mij, where Mij is equals to 1 if Ai comma Aj belongs to R, and 0 if Ai comma Aj does not belong to R. This R is the relation which we saw here. Okay, now in this case what is our ai comma aj, that is the first case. In place of m11 we have a1 and a1, that is our what? A1 comma a1 will be our, a1 is our a and a1 is our 1, therefore there is exist, this belongs to R. Yes, this belongs to R, a comma 1, therefore we have put it as 1. Now if we go to see this, that is in place of M12, so that will be what? A1 and comma A2. Now what is our A1? A1 is again our A, and what is our A2 in this case? That will be, therefore that will be what? A comma 2. Now this does not belong to R. Yes, therefore again we have written 0 over there. Okay, now next, R can also be represented in graphical form. This was, here we saw in the tabular form, here in the matrix form, and here this we'll see it can even be represented in a graphical form. Okay, where the points on the left hand side, say it is shown here, on the points on this left hand side are the columns in elements of A. I mean these are from the set A, and these 1 2 3 on the right hand side they are from B. Okay, and an arrow from a point left hand column, that is point from this to this, that is a point from left hand column to this point in the right hand column, indicates there exists a corresponding relation that is between these two points, that is the corresponding element in A is related to the corresponding element in B. That is, suppose there exists an arrow from this A to this one, that means there exists this A comma 1 in R. Yes, therefore see, and we have seen that A comma 1 belongs to R. Therefore from this we can find a relation R A comma 1. Yes, the a comma 1 is there, then what it is? B comma 3. Then again if we see, it is C comma 1, then it is C comma 3, then there is d comma 2. If we go to see this, this is the same relation which we had started with a comma 1, b comma 3, c comma 1, c comma 3, and d comma 2. Okay, that means what? The same element, same relation can be represented graphically also. Okay, now going from a to 1, that means what? A to 1, that is this a element is the first and this one element is the second element, right? That means therefore this age goes from a to 1, therefore there is this arrow showing the direction that it goes from a to 1. And such graphs are called as digraphs that we will learn ahead, that which contains the directions or which contains the arrows are called as digraphs. And here all these points are known as vertices or nodes. Okay, that means what? If we go to see this A, B, C, D, these all are points. Again, this 1, 2, 3, they are the points. Let it be of the different sets, but together this entire figure makes one graph. And mostly the graphs are represented as G, capital G. And together this entire figure makes one graph. Therefore, we can say that this A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, these 7 points, they are the vertices of this graph G. The points are called as vertices or the nodes. And the arrows are known as the edges of the graph. These arrows A1, B3, C1, C3, D2. This five, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, these five edges, these five arrows are known as the edges of the graph. Okay, since the graph contains arrows, that is the directions, they are known as directed graphs or digraphs. Okay, that's what I said already. Since we know, we can make out that arrow, that edge goes from A to 1. Okay, if that was the case, like there is a, there was 1 here, and there was just a straight line, and with no direction we couldn't have found out whether a is related to 1 or 1 is related to a, or what it is. That means we couldn't have found out whether the relation r contains a comma 1 or the relation r contains 1 1 comma a. That wouldn't have been clear, and such graphs in which no direction has been shown, these are called as undirected graphs. Okay, that also we'll see ahead. So now what are these graphs? Anything like, suppose I draw something like this. This is also a graph A, B, C, with the vertices will be A, comma B, comma C are my vertices, and AB and CB are my edges. Okay, now again this is undirected graph. Therefore, I can write this edge CB as edge BC also, right? That is same as, even I can write this as BA also. Therefore, these are edges. Now, suppose I continue the same graph like this with A, B, and C with this directions. This arrow is like this. Then again I have A, B, C as vertices, and here the direction is specified, that is our A comma B and C comma B are our edges. Okay, so this is also, this figure you will see that it is just 3 points, but it is also a graph. Now if we go to see this together, this, you will say that it is just a square, but since it has vertices A, B, C, D connected by these edges, this is also a graph. Okay, with the vertices A comma B comma C comma D. Okay, and again the edges A, B, B, C, C, D, and AD, and this is again a undirected graph. So let's suppose one more example of the same. There's this A, B, C, D, E. a set A, B, C, D, E and a binary relation R is defined on the set S. Now this set and this we will represent this in a tabular form. Okay. Suppose this AB, BD, DE, CB, CD, DA has been shown. We'll will represent this relation in this tabular form. So what we get AB. So AB in the sense this AB, BD will come here, BD, DE will come here, DE, CB will come here, CB, CD will come here, CD, and DA will come here. Okay. So now this will be in the tabular form. Now similarly we can represent this graphically like this. Now in this case what will be our vertices? We have, since we have a relation from S to S itself, the vertices will be only the elements of this set S, that is what A, B, C, D, E. So in this case vertices are A, B, C, D, E, and these vertices are connected by the edges and these edges are given by the this relation R. Okay, so this will be AB. First element of R is AB, that is what we can say that A is related to B, therefore the edge goes from A to B, therefore the arrow is from A to B. Okay, again B to D, therefore there is this element B to D, the arrow shows from an arrow shows the edge going from B to D. Okay, so similarly we can draw this graph and the same relation is represented in the graphical form. Okay, now we'll see some basic terminologies. A graph is represented as G is equals to V comma E. Now I already said that mostly a graph is represented by capital G, and in its case vertices and edges, the set of vertices and the set of edges is also defined. Okay, so where V is a set of all vertices of a graph and E is a set of all edges of the graph. So the above graph, that is this graph, we can represent it like, so if this is a graph G, okay, so we'll represent it in this way, that is a set of all vertices over here. What are the set of vertices? A, B, C, D, E. Yes, A, B, C, D, E. And followed by the another set which represents set of edges. Okay, and what are the set of edges? That is this relation R, AB, BD. What next? DE, CB, CD, DA. Now anytime any graph is represented as in this way only, that is a set, then a set of all vertices. This will be a set of all vertices, comma, a set of all edges. This will be a set of all edges. There is vertice set of vertices first, comma, the set of all edges, and they should be separated by these brackets, and they both together should be covered into these curved brackets. Okay, so this chapter is really very simple and we are just with the basic terminologies. We'll see what the next is digraph. The digraphs, the ones we had seen earlier, are all both the digraphs. The digraph, the directed graph, or a digraph G is defined as an ordered pair V comma E, where V is a set and E is a binary operation on V. Okay, so similarly, this a set of all vertices, followed by the set of all edges. Now, geometrically, it can be represented as a set of marked points V with a set of arrows E between the pairs of the points. Okay, similarly, if we see this earlier, it is the set of all marked points. Is vertices A, B, C, D, and E. These are our vertices, and again the edges, the arrows marked between those vertices are called as edges. We'll see the elements of V are called as vertices and the ordered pair in E are called the edges of the directed graph. Now suppose there is an edge A comma B. Then in these cases we see this A comma B, we say that this edge is going from A to B. That is what the edge AB is incident from A and it is incident on B. So therefore, A is called as the initial vertex and B is called the terminal vertex. So, in any case, in any kind of edge, if it is incident from any vertex, that vertex is called as the initial vertex, and on the vertex on which it is incident, it is called as terminal vertex. Okay. So next, an edge that is incident from and into the same vertex is called a loop. Now in these cases there is no loop. The loop relation will look something like A comma A or B comma B. So in these cases it is called as a loop, and the vertices are said to be isolated if there is no edge incident with it and out of it. That is what? Well, let's see this graph. This graph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is the graph with vertices 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and edges 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4 and 4, 1. Okay. In this cases, this vertex 5. It does not have any edge incident on it. Also, it does not have any edge incident from it. Okay, that means such kind of vertices which are isolated from another all other vertices is called as isolated vertex. Now two vertices are said to be adjacent if they are joined by an edge. Suppose in this case all these vertices a comma b, this there is an edge between these two. Therefore, these both vertices are said to be incident to each other. Okay, adjacent to each other. Sorry, these both are called as adjacent to each other. It is A is adjacent to B, B is adjacent to A. And there is an edge from C to B. Therefore, we say that B is adjacent to C, or C is adjacent to B. Now, if we see the example, a pair B, comma E. Now, these two vertices, there does not exist any edge between these two. Therefore, we can say that these B and E are non-adjacent vertices. Okay, there is no edge between the two. Therefore, these B, comma E are non-adjacent vertices, and again similarly C, comma E, they are non-adjacent vertices. Again C, comma A, they both are non-adjacent vertices. So now let us see this graph. Okay. Now, if we want to represent this graph in a standard way, what we'll do? How we represent G is equals to a set of vertices comma edges, that is G will be represented at what is a set of vertices. Vertices are A, B and D. Therefore, I'll write it like this. Then there is a set of edges and edges are given by AB. Since they are ordered, therefore AB, then BA, then DB, DA and DD. Okay, so this is how our graph is represented, and in this case, this D comma D is a self loop. This edge is called as a loop.